Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you today with the big news on TNA announcing a deal to go on television with Destination America, keeping TNA Impact alive. The deal that they've said that is the story basically is that it's a multi-year deal with Destination America, which is a part of the Discovery Communications network. But to me, honestly, when you look at this deal, I think there's more questions that come along with this story. Basically, if you read through their statement, it doesn't say what day or what time TNA Impact is going to be on. If you go back to the birth of Impact, coming on to the Spike television network, basically Spike was reaching out looking for some sort of wrestling to put on their network. They had branded Spike Television as, the man's network, basically to go there and you can watch shows like Mansers and CSI, UFC, lots of just manly men shows that guys would want to watch. It was supposed to be like the one-stop, sort of shop things, like a lot of people just go to USA or TNT. TNT knows drama if you wanted to watch some sort of television like that. But if you just wanted to see some fucking, Terminator or Rambo movies, that was the place to go to. And, TNA really sort of fit the mold of what they were doing. They debuted with little risk going on Saturday night, I believe at like 10 o'clock at nighttime. And this was supposed to be, just a 1 hour show, and, through an outpour of, a whole bunch of fans, watching them in that time slot, TNA reached out and they gave them the Thursday night time slot in prime time, and TNA shined in that role, moving from 1 hour to 2 hours, and then everybody knows what happened. It all went downhill when they went to Monday night, and that lasted about a month before they got the cord plugged on that one, or pulled out of the wall on that one. TNA Destination America honestly isn't a first tier; it's a second tier sort of cable. Some people more than likely, if they really want to watch TNA, they're gonna have to call their cable company and extend their plan, which means basically a lot of people are going to be spending more money just to watch this one show if they want to watch this show. Destination America isn't really a well-known cable company or cable channel. I've never really heard anybody say, "Did you watch so-and-so show on the Destination America show?" But I think there's just as many question marks in this deal as there is anything else. When it comes down to it, the money that is coming into the TNA from the Destination America Discovery Communications deal basically is going to say who they're able to re-sign, basically how they're going to be able to keep their payroll, what kind of lighting they're going to be able to use for the shows, what kind of arenas they're supposed to be able to have their shows in, what type of camera equipment they're going to be having. Basically, if this isn't a big money deal that they're able to bring in, I think they're going to end up with a company that's main evented by EC3, which there are a lot of EC3 fans out there, but I don't think that EC3 is going to reach out to the mainstream fans as a true main eventer, as what we need to do when we sit down to watch this show. We don't even know what day we're going to watch this show is the biggest problem. I think if you were issuing a press release, bringing in the number 2 wrestling company in the world, you would be setting, this is what our flagship show is going to be. It's going to be this night at this time. Everybody's going to come here and they're going to watch wrestling. It's a little hard right now when you look at the scheme of what of wrestling out there. Of course, Monday night is owned by Monday Night Raw. Tuesday might be a good day to set up. They have SmackDown tapings. They've got the main event live show on the WWE Network that not a lot of people watch. But when it comes down to Wednesday and Thursday, that is going to be owned more than likely by SmackDown in the foreseeable future. You got, SmackDown is going to be airing on Wednesday nights in Canada, Thursday nights here in America, maybe even looking at Friday night, a spot that, SmackDown had some success in. Think of how long SmackDown has been a Friday night staple show, and, somebody's going to be needing to fill that void. I don't know with in the United States, with SmackDown moving to Thursday, means that they're going to be moving NXT on the WWE Network to Friday. If I'm, TNA, I basically want to stand up to NXT. If that's where they're going to put it, I'm sure, being on cable and then being on the WWE Network, I think you're going to be fine, especially with the thing of you guys are on television. People could DVR you if they want to, But on the WWE Network, NXT is going to be, in that on-demand section. I think most wrestling fans are going to know that. I don't think there's a lot of people that really go to NXT and watch it on the live stream on the WWE Network. So maybe Friday might be a good show to go get down to. But TNA, on my lunch today, they were popping bottles on Twitter, basically all celebrating this move with Destination America. Honestly, they can celebrate because they're able to stay alive, but I think with this deal, there's just as many questions as there is answers, and we're going to have to see what goes down in the future with this deal. The grave has not been dug for TNA yet. It looks like they're going to be alive for the foreseeable future. With this deal, they're not only going to be having Impact Wrestling, but television specials and other weekly shows. I don't know if they're going to be bringing back sort of like that behind-the-scenes sort of deal, or maybe if they're going to be having some sort of a show to sort of further along storylines and get over everything that's happened in the past, some sort of a recap show. But it looks like this channel is really reaching out, and they really want to make TNA the flagship show. So maybe this is a great thing for them, because basically Spike TV looks like they've basically closed the door on wrestling. You've seen Jeff Jarrett out there hawking Global Force Wrestling for about a year now. He's always talking about on Twitter about how he's always having these business meetings, but he's never really been able to pull through a deal for any sort of a television deal, whether if it's for his to have an actual wrestling show or some sort of a reality show. He's really trying to hammer something down and hasn't been able to do it. He's been able to make this pay-per-view deal for the New Japan show, and we're going to have to see how that works out in the foreseeable future. But as of right now, TNA in January is going to be moving to Destination America. When that is going to be, I'm not sure. If you go to the TNA website and you look at the event page, they don't even have another show until January 29th. I don't know if that means they're going to be showing this show live from Glasgow. But they have tapings on the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st on their Maximum Impact UK tour. I'm guessing that the New York show got pulled because why wouldn't they want to be selling tickets to this show if they could? But it's not listed on their website, so I don't know what happened to those television tapings. But it looks like they're off the board now. So maybe late January is when we're going to get it. Looks like it might be bad for them not to have shows through December and January. Honestly, to me, I think wrestling gets really hot in January. If you can find some way to get some earlier tapings and get that show on earlier, I think you want to live off of the Royal Rumble hype, which leads them into WrestleMania. I know that that's WWE. Maybe a little bit will spill over to TNA at that time if people really get into what's going down. But honestly, to me, not having shows in December isn't a killer. Everybody knows from my videos that I really fall out of love with wrestling in December. I just really have no time. Thanksgiving to just after New Year's at my job is just completely hectic. With just working overtime days and just working longer shifts than normal, and cutting prime ribs and turkeys and hams and whatever else is going down in the meat department at this time. So I come home and I'm just dog tired. I fall asleep basically sitting on the couch a lot of times and wake up and it's the next morning already because I'm just too dead tired. I follow along mainly through podcasts. I don't even watch a lot of shows in December. So we're going to have to see what's going on in the foreseeable future, but that's the scoop on Destination America and TNA Impact. Peace out.